first lesson is prepare your day or prepare to fail. Now, there's a lot of things you have to do before you can even pick up the phone and get going. There's research you have to do. You want to know who you're calling, what their number is, what company they work in, what's their position, what are they possibly responsible for, and how could the product that I'm trying to sell relate to the daily task they have. Lesson number 2, track yourself before you wreck yourself. And that's all about knowing your number. What do I mean by knowing your number? Well, all of you, it doesn't matter if you are already BDRs, SDRs, or if you aspire to be BDRs, SDRs, you're going to work with targets. There's going to be a certain number of SQOs, how they typically call them, sales qualified opportunities, or simply put, meetings set that your company expects you to get in a given time. So you should know what's your way of getting there. And that's something that you figure out over time. But from your very first call you do, or from your very first email or LinkedIn message to any of your prospects, you should start tracking that for yourself. Lesson number 4, structure is key. And that's a very, very simple rule that I try to follow almost religiously and always try to bring back for myself. And that's the 90-10 rule. 90%, 10%. In a general cold call, you always have 3 phases. Now you can break it up into 100 different phases if you want to, but if you want to simplify any good call you have, it will have an opening, it will have a conversational part, and will have a close. Now the 10-90 rule tells you how much you should speak, and how much the prospect you're calling should speak. In the beginning of the call, it's going to be 90% you, it's going to be closed questions, yes or no answers, and you're going to do the majority of the talking. But immediately as you end your pitch, in the best case scenario with a great open question, and you get to the conversational part, you want to switch 100% around. You only want to talk 10%. Be the one who asks the questions. We get to that. And have your prospect on the phone talk, give you as much information as possible. And then when you find you have enough information and the call is coming to an end, that's where you turn it around again. It's going to be 90% you, 10% them. You switch from open questions back to closed questions and bring home that close. So now we get to that conversational part. We did our opening, we asked an open-ended question. Now how can we structure that conversational part and have an actual plan in place? The golden rule is he who asks or she who asks leads the call. Whoever is asking the questions in the conversational part is the one who's 100% in control. So if you get the customer to ask many questions about your product, that might be great to some degree, but if it gets you to do the 90% of the talking and they just ask the question, that means you officially lost control of that conversation, and it might end when the prospect wants and not when you want it, and have the outcome that you want. So use a note app. Whatever app works for you. I just use the notes on my MacBook, and I have a list of questions open that work for me and help me to get through the flow. So have your questions ready, have them noted down so you never blank and get to a point where you wouldn't know what to ask next.